Steve Conley here for It's About Belief. I wanted to talk about the techniques that we see all over the place. There's plenty of them. And I'm here to tell you, you don't need them. Now, maybe they're helpful as a good tool to bridge the belief gaps. I call them belief bridges. From what you think you know to a new, idea or belief, or a new mantra, if you will, or a new idea of who you are. Because if anything is possible, then anything is possible. And the thing that brings me to this idea is, I have noticed over the years that the things that I think the least about, and just kind of like almost whimsical thoughts, and I've talked about this before, just happen. Bam, they're there. And sometimes these ideas, these whimsical thoughts, are what we would think of as huge. Things that don't seem possible to have happened, and yet they just did, and they're almost unrecognizable, and in terms of a relationship between the thought and the thing, or the event, or the relationship, or the health, or any of that. We just kind of look at them and say, "Wow, that was amazing! How did that happen?" Well, give yourself credit, or give yourself the blame, and I use that word lightly because I'd rather you use the word credit. Give yourself the credit of having that horrible thing happen to you, because now you realize you did it. And so now, guess what? You can change that. So back to the techniques. There's plenty of them. I use them. I've tried them. And I'm kind of at the point right now where I don't even want to do a technique. I just don't think they're necessary. Can they be helpful? Yes. And if you think you need to do them, by all means, do them. Because if you think they'll be helpful, then they will be helpful. However, just kind of keep in the back of your mind, you really don't need them to create what it is you're attempting to create. And as a matter of fact, take a few minutes to notice the whimsical thoughts, the light things. Wouldn't it be nice if so-and-so, like my favorite one is, I wonder whatever happened to Uncle Charlie, Bam, it's there and it's gone. And then within 24 hours, you get a call from Uncle Charlie, and said, "Hey, I just thought I'd check in to let you know what's happening with me." And you're like, "Holy crap, what a coincidence." No, it's not a coincidence. And that's the other thing that I kind of want to say again. Many of us go through life saying, "Wow, what an amazing coincidence that was." And then we say, well, there's no such thing as coincidences. So we're going back and forth between this coincidence thing idea. Well, which is it? Make up your mind. Is it a coincidence? Or are there no such things as coincidences? I'm going with the latter. There's always a correlation between the thought. I'll use this moment to scratch right there. There's always a correlation between the thought and the feeling. It's kind of more of a barometer of what it is you believe is possible. Now, if you have a thought and it's a whimsical thought, you haven't had time to rationalize it. Bring the rational mind into this, which means screw it up. From my point of view, the rational mind is just going to muck it up big time. And you don't want to do that. What do you want? Do you want rational stuff, or do you want magical stuff? Hey, I want magic in my life. And if you think about it, you probably do too. You may not believe that you can produce magic. So, that's something to look at. Maybe you can produce magic. Maybe you are producing magic, probably are, and you just haven't recognized it. You may be saying, wow, what a fantastic coincidence that was. No, that was you creating the magic that you see in front of you. So thank you for allowing me to ramble a little bit about the idea of techniques and the idea of bridging belief ideas and jumping over the necessity or the belief of the need of having to do a technique, and calling your attention to whimsical thoughts. And if you can imagine a life where you just have whimsical thoughts and they just show up, no matter how big or how small. Maybe it's, the whimsical thought is, wouldn't it be nice if Uncle Charlie gave me a call? And then, or the other whimsical thought might be, wow, that's a really nice house over there. It's, probably $5 or $10 million. Wouldn't it be nice if I lived over there? And then those have really the same creative ability within your own consciousness to manifest itself in your own life. Now, it's more likely that you're going to apply the rational mind, the let's screw it up mind, into the equation of the $5 or $10 million house and say, well, that's not likely. And there you go, you're done. But if you just keep your whimsical thought, wouldn't that be nice? Then the odds are higher that that'll happen. So again, thanks for letting me, bring those ideas around to you. Again, you've heard all this. I've said it, and I'm saying it again. And the reason is because a lot of times I need to hear these things over and over and over again, and slightly different verbiage and different environment where I am a different plane of thought, a different vibrational frequency for me to receive these things. And perhaps that's the same for you and for everybody. So again, I appreciate you listening and watching.